Hello, my crafty friends. Someone just drove by, so the dogs are barking their heads off. We'll give it a minute. Just gonna shut my door. So, I'm gonna talk through their barking. I'm sorry. It is Wednesday, January 29th, and it is 7:32. I hope everyone is having a great week. I did remember to write down the names of those that shared last week, so we'll do a draw. That is for, where are they? I've got little prizes and gifts everywhere. So this is for the From My Heart Faceted Gems. So for those just joining in now, if you can share like Pam just did, that would be great. Thank you, Pam. And make sure to come back and comment like Pam did, saying shared. Because of privacy settings, I can't tell who shared. I can just see how many, not who. Unless your privacy settings are open, and I don't want you to do that just for this. So just come back and say shared. And then your name will go into the drawing for next week. And what should our prize be next week? Do I have anything? Ooh, the prize could be this. So this is a Sale-a-bration item. You can get this for free with a $60 order, Canadian. I'm in Canada. And it is the metallic baker's twine and sequins combo pack. So let's make this the prize for next week. I'm gonna put a post-it on it so I don't forget. Thank you, Jenny, and hello. I hope everyone is having a fantastic week, fantastic Wednesday. Just gonna write this down. And I am gonna go do as I asked you to do and spread the goodness. No sound. Anyone else having no sound? Betsy, you mean you can't hear my dogs barking? Oh, lucky. I thought you meant me, Jenny. Thank you. iPad not cooperating. So I have just a couple of housekeeping things, and then we'll flip this around and get our craft on. There I am. Turn down my volume already so that I wouldn't scare us all. Thank you, Barb. Thank you, Patty. Patty, got some happy mail coming your way. Now let's share to a group. I belong to, I'm sure that, I love that, Jenny. Hey, Erin. I don't know if you got my messenger, but your order is ready. Oh shoot, what was I saying? I don't remember. Oh, I belong to a few crafty groups and I share cards in there from time to time. And one of them has been having watch parties of Trump. I'm like, no. No thanks. Okay, share it to that one. And that one. And I think that one. Okay, so I have shared it. If you can do the same, that would be fantastic. It helps me reach more people and keeps me going. Okay, let's pull this up. Okay, I wish I could do all of that before you come in, but unfortunately I can't. I miss you too, Erin. Get your butt over here. I've got a Pampered Chef collab on Saturday, and we are making yummy treats and adorable cards. Adorable. Not too proud to say it. And I just learned a super cool technique that we are going to use on Saturday, and you're going to be floored, and the possibilities are going to be endless. So yeah, you want to do that. Okay, so before I flip this around, I'm going to draw for last week's share prize. There weren't many. You have to come back and tell me that you shared it, otherwise I don't know. So Pam is the lucky winner. Yeah, there weren't many in here. Pam Simmons is the lucky winner. So I will need your mailing address, Pam, and I will get these off to the mail, into the mail for you. Thank you for sharing, Patty. Okay, Betsy, I'm so sorry, but I think that's you because other people seem to be hearing it okay. So try your volume. I don't know what you're watching on, what kind of device, if it's a phone, an iPad, computer, but it seems to be working. So I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to flip this around and then turn on some more light, and you can, we'll do our couple of housekeeping things and then we'll get to crafting. I am going to tell you now though, I am doing one project tonight. It's gonna be a good one, but only one. And that's cute, Patty. I am exhausted. I thought momentarily about canceling my live, and then I saw a few demonstrators in my feed that were canceling tonight, and I'm like, no, I can't do it. My viewers have to have Facebook Lives to watch, right? So I sucked it up, and here I am. But I had a class at work today with 17 people, not all at the same time. Most of them came right at the beginning, but it was so much fun, and I don't know if you can tell, but my fingers are still rather pink. I spent a lot of time and a lot of baby wipes wiping real red ink off of blocks. With 17 people, it can be hard to explain that you just tap, tap, tap. And I mean, new people come in and they haven't heard the first part of it, so it was great, but at about 2:45 today, I'm like, oh, I am done. I need a nap. And I work till 5, and then I have to drive half an hour to go get my son and half an hour to come back. So it was Subway for dinner, and once I'm done this, I'm gonna veg. I've got to get some project sheets ready for the last free Pretty AF Facebook Lives tomorrow night. So if you haven't heard of Pretty AF, it is a group, it's a collaboration with Tiffany Almeida of Pretty and Paper Crafts in the US. And after, is it Friday? Starting on Saturday, thank you, Patty, that's a great idea. Starting on Saturday, it is $15 per month to remain in our Pretty AF group, and that's $15 Canadian and $15 US. At some point, the Canadian one may have to come up so that it's even, because right now I think it's probably close to 20 exchange rate wise, but there's not a whole lot of Canadians in there right now. So Canadians, if you're watching, help me out. So as part of this group, you will get, does that say steel? As part of this group, you will get 4 full classes each month. So Tiffany does 2 Facebook Lives, I do 2 Facebook Lives, and each one of those contains 4 projects. So you are getting 16 projects over the course of a month. You get the full written PDF with photos in there. There are creative challenges, there are virtual swaps, both with prize options. Is it both? Okay, well, the creative challenge for sure is a prize. You also, I get it now, Patty. It is a steal. It is, whether it's Canadian or American. So I'm going live in there tomorrow night. So if you would like to know more, request access and see what it's all about. You can see the previous Facebook Lives that we've done earlier in the month. You can download the project sheets. It's fantastic. And this can be for demonstrators. It can be for customers, it can be for whatever. So if you are a hobby demonstrator and you're not in this to sell, it's still a great deal because you are getting 16 designs, exclusive designs. We are not using these anywhere else. We are designing them just for Pretty AF. So get in the last 2 days and enjoy it, and then starting on Saturday it will be $15 a month. Your birthday month you will get a card and a gift, so I mean you can't go wrong. Okay, now I said probably 2 minutes ago I was going to flip this around, so I'm going to cover this up. Betsy, have you tried coming back into the live? If not, I would suggest Patty's suggestion of shutting down and coming back in. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this around and then cover you up. So if you get seasick, this ought to help. Turn on some more lights, and then I've got just a couple of things to show you, and then we will get to crafting. Can you tell it's gonna be coloring? Who out there loves to color? Hands up if you love to color. I'd also love to know if you don't love to color. I mean, it's not like fussy cutting where it's awful. Fussy cutting has its time and its place, right? Okay, so for my class today at work, everyone had the option of card 1 or card 2. And these are all using the gorgeous Valentine's DSP. So it says, wishing you love and laughter forever after, with the heart. And that one is from the, I've got all my stamps still in my bag from today. That one is from the Heart to Heart stamp set. Look how much we use them today. And that's the one that comes with this gorgeous die, and I will be using this in tomorrow's Facebook Live on Pretty AF. So there's that one, and they used one of my favorite punches, the Darling Label Punch, with different DSPs. And then it just says Happy Valentine's Day on the inside. They dolled up their envelopes. It was adorable. And then this one, this I thought was going to take some time, but I did go ahead and I die cut the stitch rectangles beforehand. Everything else they did. Well, I mean, I had the card bases ready. And on this card, I had the embossing done. I didn't want to take my big shot to work. I figured it was there's gonna be enough going on. There's only one of me, so I chose to do that. So they did their stamping, they did their doilies, they did the inside. I just love the sentiment so much. And then, okay, so they had their choice of 1 or 2, and then everyone made one of these. So this is empty, but when I had my sample at work, I had actually put Hershey's Hugs and Kisses in it, and it looked adorable. Now I noticed when I got home that I have a few less lids than I should. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the tins that don't have lids, but they really stick together. So if you have purchased these, I highly suggest, I'm not going to take them out. I highly suggest that you make sure you only have one lid, because they really fit snug. And the tin isn't going to do you a whole lot of good without the top. I mean, you can still bake in it, you can still use it for whatever, but without the lid, not so helpful. So that was my class today. Like I said, it was 20 people that participated. There are 2 that I have to mail kits to because they don't work. Well, one doesn't work from our office, and then another one just kind of lost track of time. So he is going to make it tomorrow. But it was a great time. So that was today. That's why I'm exhausted. I mean, I am like chronically exhausted, but that's the reason today. The other housekeeping item I had was I have an online class that is open for registration right now. It is using the Beautifully Braided bundle, which is kind of a sleeper. I haven't seen a whole lot of samples using this set. So I decided to sit and have a play with it last weekend and had so many ideas that I had to cap it at 6 cards for this class. So these are all the cards. Let's put that one on the bottom. This one is just a fun belly band, but this punch, you will not regret getting this punch. So these are the 6 cards in that class. This one is a super fun interactive card, and I cased it from Wendy Cranford, this fun fold. So it's using the punch there, and then it's just kind of interlocking there. So I am thrilled with this class. It is only open until, oh yay! Yay, Betsy! This class is only open until Friday. I need to get this order placed by the end of day Friday for it to go into my January sales. So it's closing on Friday by noon. There is the option to purchase the bundle, and get the class and card kit for free. So you're going to get the materials to make 2 of each of these 6 cards. So you're making a dozen cards. And the reason I say 2 of them, well, this is upside down, is because when you make cards this pretty, you don't want to give them away. So if you have another one to keep, you can give one away, right? So you can get it for free if you purchase the bundle with the card kit. You can purchase just the card kit with the tutorial for $25, or you can purchase just the PDF. And all the details are on my website, so stampedaf.ca. So if you have any questions, you can check there, and if it's not answered, just send me an email at stampedaf@gmail.com. Send me a messenger, send me whatever. Okay, so that is that class. If you are interested in it, don't miss out. Thank you for sharing, Betsy. Now that you can hear what I'm saying. Another cute thing was in our Pretty AF group where we do exclusive designs, Tiffany did the cutest little faceted box using the honeybee stamp set bundle. And it was so stinking cute that I had to give it a try. I think it was Sunday morning. So I've put a challenge on there that if anyone else was inspired to share their boxes, but I just wanted to show you this one because, I mean, I don't know what I'm ever going to do with it. It's probably just going to sit on my desk, but it says, "You amaze me," and that sentiment is from Wiggleworm. And then it's got the, well, I get this wrong every time. It's got the honeycomb there. It's got a magnet closure. And then you can put whatever you want in there. So it's just so cute. And then I embossed and die cut some bees to put them around the box. And then you've got the queen bee on top. So if you want to know how to make this, this is part of Tiffany's Facebook Live from last week. Super cute. And you will not believe how easy it was to make. Shocking. Yes, Jenny, I love your card. It's so cute. January 31st is the deadline to get those challenges in. Okay, so enough talk. I am going to start crafting. Now, I'm going to tell you that I had not participated in any kind of card challenges for a while, and I saw the Global Design Project challenge last week, and it was to case the designer and use kind of a rainbow pattern. I decided to enter the card that I did last Wednesday on Facebook Live with the lipstick samples. It didn't win, but that's okay. I've won a few global design projects and it's thrilling, to be honest. But I decided I'm going to start doing that again. So I think one of the cards that I make during every Wednesday Facebook Live will be one of the projects that I submit for that week's challenge. So this week's challenge is to work with Real Red, Flirty Flamingo, and Whisper White. Now I just noticed that when this closed today, those little bumps, it didn't get closed right, so it's got those little bumps now, but whatevs, it still works. So I thought, you know what, I could use the, is it From My Heart? I could, oh, what is it? What is it? What is it? My brain is just done for the day. Okay, so I thought, okay, it is From My Heart. I could use the From My Heart DSP, but it seems kind of easy. Obvious, right? Like, this paper is the perfect reason to put Real Red and Flirty Flamingo together. It looks awesome. But I felt like it was a little too easy. So on my half-hour drive to go pick up my son, I thought, what am I gonna create that doesn't use the DSP as like the focal point? There could be some DSP in there, but I kept thinking the whole way, and I came up with something, and then at the last minute I decided that I wanted some of that DSP in there, but in a less obvious way. I think when it's a challenge, you can definitely go the obvious route, but I wanted to challenge myself a little bit. So I had watched a video today by Lynn Dunn, and if you don't follow Lynn, Stamptastic Designs, you are missing out. Her cards are always amazing. I've cased her a few times. One of my favorite fun folds is a card that she did. So I saw her do a video on the Sale-a-bration coordination. So one of those coordination products is the birthday dies. So it cuts out the full cake with stand, it cuts out the flowers, it does all of these these leaves, this foliage, and this gorgeous cake stand. So we're gonna do that, and I started coloring just a little bit to make sure that the colors would go together. So I'm gonna color that, and I'm going to combine just a little bit of the DSP, because one of Lynn's cards just was so cute. The layout was simple, but I don't know that it's one that would have come to me. So I've got a top folding A2 size card base, real red. I've got a 4 by 5 1/4 Whisper White matte. I have got, I don't remember the size of this because it was kind of an awkward size. I have a 3 1/4, sorry for the barking, 3 1/4 by 4 5/8 piece of real red. And then I have a stitched rectangle. To be honest, I don't remember which size it is, but it's smaller than this. Not necessarily stamped perfectly straight, but oh my goodness. We are just going to kind of tuck that in back there, and it just brings it all together. It brings out some of that rich real red, and we're going to trim it to, what are we going to trim it to? Whoops. Let's say 5 inches. So tonight I still have to type out my project sheets for tomorrow night. I've got the afternoon off because I have a meeting with my son's school slash internship. Oh my goodness. Someone must be walking by with a dog. Okay, so that's kind of what it's going to look like. So we'll set everything aside and just get to coloring. Now I thought for the cake stand I will use some champagne foil and bring in a little bit of bling. And I've just got a scrap here because I'm coloring with blends. I want to have a piece of paper underneath. And to do the cake, I am just going to use my light Flirty Flamingo. And when I was practicing before I went live, I used the color lifter just to make this a little bit lighter. Doesn't have to be perfect. So what is everyone up to this fine Wednesday evening? Okay. So I'm just going to go over this quickly, lighten it up a little bit. It's funny, it goes from pink to almost like a flamingo color. I mean, it is, it's Flirty Flamingo, but it changes from pink to like an orangey pink. So these ones that are just kind of out on their own, I'm going to do in the dark Flirty Flamingo. And then the ones that are buds, because they're roses, I'm going to do dark Real Red. Okay, and while I have that out, all the centers will be dark Real Red. All the undersides of the petals will be dark. You don't want to work in too large of an area at one time if you intend to blend. If you're just straight coloring, no big deal. But if you want these to blend and look seamless, you need to work in a smaller area. Hi Patty, hi Donna. Thank you for watching. So you may be wondering why I'm using Real Red and Flirty Flamingo, but I am participating in a challenge. And this is going to be the focal point, but it will come together in a minute when you see the background. I know I've spoken quite a bit about Pretty AF tonight, but the other thing I wanted to mention is that team members of mine and Tiffany's get free access to the group. So that is another perk of being on our teams. With my team members, they receive the monthly Stamping Society tutorial, they receive any online classes that I do. So this beautifully braided class that I have open right now, they will get the PDF and the instructions. Well, PDF and instructions are the same thing. So they'll get the link to the video and the PDF. And then they get free access to Pretty AF. There's not a whole lot of dark on this one. Oops. Outside the line. So I was mentioning the dies with this, I'd call it a bundle, but it's not really. The birthday dies will cut out the flowers separately from the cake. For this card, we're going to keep it together. I'm not going to layer the flowers. Mostly because I've already colored them on here. If I were going to layer them, I wouldn't bother coloring all this. I would have just stamped the cake and then left the flowers underneath white. Donna, yeah, it's beauty. It actually was not one that caught my eye right away. I thought, I don't need another birthday cake. And then when I saw that the dies were coming out and it cut the cake stand, the flowers separately, and all the things it can do, I'm like, nope, I gotta have it. They got me again. I was even looking at some of the other coordination products, and I will have a video coming out on Monday that focuses on the coordination, the Sale-a-bration coordination, because that does go live to customers on February 4th, which is, I believe, Tuesday of next week. So I will have a video on Monday with more designs and details. I don't have everything from the coordination. I only buy what I love. But I will have a few designs. And there's one more item that I thought about getting today so that I could have it for Monday's video. And then I thought, I don't need it. I don't need to pay expedited shipping for yet another thing. So I'm just going to really go big with what I've got. It's not to say I'm not going to get it, but I had talked myself out of it before. Okay, so that is the coloring. Now I find whenever I'm coloring with blends, I like to go around the edges with Pool Party. I'm not sure what it is, but it just makes it pop. I think it kind of grounds it too, so that you don't have just a cake floating in the middle. I mean, we'll put kind of the impression of a countertop, but I just love outlining. And if you don't have Pool Party Light, you really need to add it. But light mint macaron or balmy blue would do as well. I think I just like the whimsy of Pool Party. And you can take as much time or as little as you want to do this. Now, I don't think I'm going to go around that because, like I said, I am going to die cut. Just a couple spots. You guys are so quiet tonight. I actually had a comment from my Facebook Live that I shared last week asking how I get so much engagement from my Facebook Live. So that was kind of cool. Just going in spots that I missed. Okay, so back to the dies. We're going to take this out. And I'm just going to die cut this. So I was telling you that I got a Gemini Junior and was loving it. But I'm also finding, one, I can't get my 3D embossing folders to go through it. But two, I navigate to my Big Shot automatically. So I'm thinking I'm going to sell it and save that money to go towards whatever Stampin' Up! Comes up with for a new die cutting machine. Okay, so here we go. It's kind of stuck in there, and it has a whole bunch of little dots that come out, and they did not come out. So I'm just gonna pop those through. My Take Your Pick tool is still in my bag from today. So you want to make sure you get them completely off, not just out from the front. That's what I tried everything I had, Betsy, and it still wasn't working. So, oh, look at that. They're not even the same size. Well, that's not going to work on our stitched rectangle. Okay, so I guess we're cutting out the cake. And we'll put it onto a piece of Whisper White that's that size. And I will just cut the cake stand out after the fact. Huh, that's interesting. Anyone else not know that? I totally would have thought they were the same height, but now looking at them, I mean, that has a much taller base. So I will cut another stitched rectangle when we're done with this. Okay, so I wasn't the only one, right? It seems weird that they wouldn't be the same height, but I mean now it seems so obvious. Okay, so scissors. I'm gonna cut this puppy off. At least it's easy enough to cut off. I'll just round that. What, Jenny? What? Ooh, doesn't it look pretty? I'm kind of thinking now that I should just pop those up. What do you think? Do I pop them up? I could take these ones. Just goes off the edge. Just means I would have to re-stamp the cake. What do you think? Kind of like that it's just one layer. Usually one layer is not my thing. Okay, well, I leave that decision with you as to whether I should cut the flowers out and pop them up or leave them as is. I'm just going to cut another stitched rectangle. Oh, and I have a question. For those of you that have the Stampin' Up! Stitched rectangles, do you have the old Sizzix ones before we stopped dealing with Sizzix, or do you have the new Stampin' Up! Ones? I would like to know because I have the old Sizzix ones and I feel like they are really hard to get the paper out of. Now, I do use my bone folder and I put it through and push the paper out, so I save my hands that way. But I am really curious to know if the new ones are easier. and not quite as sharp, because these bad boys are sharp. And I don't want to invest another $50 in another set if they're going to be exactly the same. Inquiring minds want to know. No worries, my dear. That's fine. You know, Jenny, I used to find that when I placed smaller orders more often, I mean, it wasn't the smartest because I paid more for shipping, but I didn't get as many products at one time. And even if I placed a larger order, I made sure that I played with everything immediately, like within a couple of days, because I could never understand how people could say, oh yeah, I have that, but I haven't used it yet. I'm like, what? But now I totally get it. If I have a really big order, and I've had a couple of really big orders so far this quarter, I mean the last 2 months, and I don't get a chance to play with them right away. So I get it now. I think if I could stay home and craft every day, I would have time, but working full time, I just do not. Okay, so am I cutting these out? Now that I've got this stamped again. What do we think? Are people getting kicked out? Is Facebook being mean again? Okay, I am going to glue this down. Yeah, Barb, I'm interested to know if anyone does have ones that aren't Sizzix. I really would like to know, because I mean the new Stampin' Up dies are so amazing. And I think with the stitch nested dies, they're just so much easier to get out, and they're softer. They don't tear your skin up. So I'd like to know, but I don't really want to be a guinea pig on that one. Okay, so before I put the red down, we're going to put this down with kind of an even border on the top and bottom and the left, or close. I guess we were all just in too much of a rush to get them, huh? Oh, that's awesome. Is it Faline? I don't want to say it the wrong way. Is it like it's an F? I'm guessing it is, but I don't want to say it wrong. I know with my name, when people spell it wrong, it drives me nuts. Now, the one thing I'm going to say that because this paper is very heavily focused on real red, I want to make sure that I either have that white line showing, which kind of puts it a little too close to the edge. So I want to have that flirty flamingo line showing. You know what? I'm going to leave it as is. No one has said otherwise, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to pop this layer up on dimensionals. And I just very briefly thought of using ribbon around the bottom of this, but it would get in the way with the cake stand, so we'll just leave it like this. Oh, enjoy. I'm not going to be much longer, Feeling. My eyelids are getting heavy. Okay, just going to glue it down. again, an even border on all 4 sides this time. Okay. And then we want to make sure that we have enough room for the cake stand, so I'm going to put that on first and not press it down at the top yet. And then we'll glue this down. Aw, thank you, Donna. No, I thought about dimensionals, but let's just leave it. I was kind of worried about the color combination, and then I thought there's nothing wrong with a pink cake with red flowers. Because again, I'm submitting this for the Global Design Project Challenge, and I didn't want to have the DSP doing all of the heavy lifting, so to speak. So that's it. Now, I will put an insert in here. I'm not sure. I'm going to leave the sentiment off the front, but I think I'm just going to put Celebrate on the inside. So I was mentioning these are available backup. So the stamp set is available as a Sale-a-bration item. So if you spend $60 before taxes and shipping, you can choose this as your Sale-a-bration item. And these dies will be available to the general public come February 4th. Demonstrators, it's still on pre-order, so you can add these and you will not regret it. If you love the stamp set, you really need to have the dies in your life. I'm just gonna cut this card mat down to 4 by 5 1/4. Use some snail on there. Oh, I like the way that turned out. Pleasantly surprised. I was kind of worried that the Flirty Flamingo might be a little too pink. I mean, I think if I were doing it without a color challenge, I would use maybe Rococo Rose. But since it's for a challenge that requires those 2 colors, I thought I better stick with it. I don't know how well this would go with Real Red. But, you know, to me, that's an easier combination than Flirty Flamingo. Like, to me, those 2 go. But this is kind of dark, so I still would have done the color lifter. But that's just me. Now, using Real Red. Aw, thank you, ladies. I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised. Sometimes you get an idea in your head and you're not sure it's going to translate onto paper. I'm happy with the way this came out. I'm going to show you one more thing after I'm done this. You'll get a good chuckle out of it. Oh, that's so pretty. I didn't realize that was, there's like a texture to it. Almost like it's been handwritten in cursive writing that the poor children won't know how to do. Okay, so I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I mean, I could put some flowers or dots, but let's just leave it plain and simple. The front is nice and clean and plain. We don't, well, not plain, but it's simple. There's no additional stuff that we need. There was one thing I'm just going to put the tiniest little bit of smoky slate at the bottom here so that it's not just floating. And when I do that, I always use my color lifter to soften it. Okay, so the funny part, and then we're all done for tonight. Because like I said, I was only doing one project and it still took 45 minutes. Okay, so my Flirty Flamingo pad that now has the little bumps. Hi, Connie. Look at this. So this poor stamp is from Meant to Be, and it was only supposed to be meant to be in red. So that is from this card. Ooh, look. Doesn't it look pretty with all this real red and flirty flamingo? So that was supposed to be red. And then look at all these tiny little hearts. So I'm going to have to clean this pad and re-ink it. But I thought you might get a chuckle out of that, as you are all fellow crafty ladies. So that is all. If you have any questions about anything that I used tonight or any of the products, if you would like to know more about my beautifully braided online class, if you would like to know more about joining my team or Pretty AF or any questions, just message me or send me an email, stampedaf@gmail.com. And I thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am going to go lay on the couch and play Candy Crush and just zone out. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you soon, my crafty friends. Bye.